See live, you can create an entry and pick 5 drivers to compete against your friends, or you can join an existing league today. Great prizes are awarded weekly, so just visit NASCAR.com/fantasy to get started. As Corey LaJoie is the first car on the track.
And you want to know why people are waiting? Well, that's a 24:30. Corey LaJoie in practice ran a 23:30, so that's a second slower than he ran in practice.
Why is that? It's a concrete racetrack, so you've been telling me over and over for the last 40 years that it doesn't affect, or it's not affected by the weather.
Oh, I don't agree. I think Bristol and here.
I was wondering if he was going to catch on that.
38 years. Bristol and here, when they sit. So I agree with you that it perhaps isn't the weather. Unlike an asphalt racetrack, the sun beating down on the concrete doesn't seem to change its grip level. But what does, when cars don't run on it, Jeff, I don't know if it's just the dust that settles from the horse track in the area or the rubber from the Xfinity cars, but both here, Bristol, these concrete racetracks, when someone's not on them, the first few cars just never seem to have the speed.
Yeah, this is one of those racetracks that, when you look at how fast you ran in practice, if you can go back and replicate that in qualifying, that's normally pretty good. Many times people will slow down. We go to other racetracks, and they'll pick up 6, 7, 8 tenths of a second. So this racetrack, it just changes as it sits and race cars are on it. And listen, Xfinity cars were just on it. It's just that time that the track sits between, the next time a car, I don't know why, but it just never is as good.
So a new tire compound by Goodyear, both the left sides and the right sides. They say the left sides are a little grippier, supposed to give them a little more grip, and the right side's a little more durable so that they can hopefully stop the right side blowing the right front tires possibly. But does that also affect what we're going to see as far as speeds in this qualifying session?
I think it's a little unknown. You already heard 2 drivers that we interviewed, Martin Truex Jr. and Casey Kane, both questioned what that tire was going to do. This tire was run at Darlington, but that's an asphalt racetrack. That doesn't really do anything for Dover, so it is different than what they ran in the spring, and we're instantly going to see who has made the right adjustments.
And see, we've seen so many of these guys just sitting here waiting. In fact, Kyle Busch even just climbed into his car just a moment ago, but I actually checked in with the 41 crew chief, Tony Gibson, and asked him if they were waiting because of the Xfinity rubber, and he said yes. So I think that's the thought of a lot of these guys who are waiting to get more of the Cup Series rubber on the track before they head out.
Yeah, Kelly, I think the teams that are gambling the most are perhaps the teams that have the most to lose. So if you look at Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he was 25th in practice. Austin Dillon was 27th in practice. If you wait long enough, you won't get a chance to run a second run. You won't get a chance to come in, make an adjustment to your car, and go try to improve that speed. So, in waiting, yes, you're waiting for the track to get better, but you're also limiting your opportunity to make enough runs to get your best lap. It's quite a gamble.
Jeffrey Earnhardt in 33 also out taking laps. These are all cars that are still coming out of the garage area.
Yeah, so the situation is this. The 88, the drivers in that car, drivers in the 20, drivers in the 3, but they're basically waiting to go on the racetrack because while these cars were in pit road, waiting to come out on pit road, the only way out is to drive out. You'd have to drive all the way around the racetrack to come to your pit stall to cool the engine back down. So while it looks like they're still in inspection, they've passed inspection. They're getting ready to make their runs.
So and a little issue that creates is how do you blend in? So now with just under 10 minutes left and everybody's going to try to start going on the racetrack at the same time, how do you get into where you want to go out by coming out of the garage versus on pit road? So it wouldn't surprise me to see somebody leave incorrectly, because once you leave and you're in the garage area, you make that left, they're not going to let you stop. You're going to have to keep rolling.
And just a reminder, spotters are required for qualifying because numerous cars can be on the track at the same time, and so that's why spotters were then required to be a part of this qualifying session.
Rick, they're going to need spotters here in about 3 or 4 more minutes because with 9 minutes left and basically 35 cars yet to take time, and my math isn't really good, but when you divide 35 cars over 1 mile in 9 minutes, I see a lot of troubles, a lot of headaches, and some traffic affecting these laps.
Yeah, minimum of 2 laps, and we've seen the fastest lap so far at 23:54.
And Brett Moffitt
in the 83.
He ran a 23 flat in practice. So again, if you're on pit road and you're the crew chief, why are you telling your driver to go right now? You just see it. You just saw another car that went out and ran slower than you ran during practice. So what incentive do you have to go early?
This is Cole Witt in the 72.
This lap might be the first one that gives somebody some confidence. So Cole Witt ran a 23:60 in practice. He's going to run quicker than that. So here's your first car, Jeff, that's picked up time. Is that going to be enough? Is that enough for Matt Kenseth to go out on the racetrack here in the 20? It looks like he's rolling.
Now, Kenseth was the fastest in practice earlier today, so he was the one who set the bar. The 22:14 was a blistering lap around this track, and can he come anywhere near that?
I don't think he needs to in this first round. So 24th was a 22:60. Remember, he only has to be in the top 24. So I don't think he's going to, by design, leave speed on the table. But Jeff, I don't think he has to take quite the risk it took to run that 22:14.
That's right, and for sure, this is the most watched lap of the weekend so far. Everybody on pit roads wanting to know how fast he can run. But you're getting to the point where it doesn't matter. Whether Matt Kenseth runs fast or not, it really doesn't matter. You're getting to the point where 7.5 minutes left to go. You're just going to have to go.
Right. So here you go, Rick. He ran a 22:14. He's going to get nowhere near that in this lap right here. It's like
22:60. But you said that was about 24th, so looking like if it's a half a second that maybe they lost from practice earlier, he would be in great shape to be able to be in the top 24, because that's the goal right now. Make it to the next round.
And also that information, even though the information may not be what you want it to be, hey, the track isn't as good as it was, that's valuable information, because if Martin Truex Jr. goes out here with the mindset of running a 22 flat, he's going to run a 23:50. If you try too hard on a track, you just won't hold it. It's not going to work. So understanding how far the track off is very valuable.
I hope you're all ready, because it's going to be a busy 6 minutes and 40 seconds when you look how many cars need to make time. And with that run by Kenseth and Truex, I think they've proved the track is improving. So now you have to go out there. Now Blaney goes to the top.
And Steve, just a comment on the track. I'm listening to a couple drivers come across the radio and describe the track as being slicker than practice. No surprise there, having practiced early in the morning, having a little cooler track, and then also having all those Xfinity practices lay down that black rubber, which just makes this place a lot slicker.
Jimmy Johnson, I believe he's the only one who's gone to battle with Miles the Monster and knocked him out. 11-time a winner here at the Monster Mile. Kyle Larson also on his qualifying lap.
He's got a big lap going right here.
Jimmy Johnson was third quickest at 22:72. Larson fastest 22:57. And it's one and done for everyone so far, with the exception of Cole Witt. He went out for 2 laps. And a few guys down at the bottom also did 2 laps, but guys are hoping to advance into the third round of qualifying. They're going to do one and done.
And even though these speeds are off from what they ran in practice, they're still faster than what the pole was here in June.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., 6th quickest, 22:85 at his final run here at Dover. And he stays in it. Now he's going to get back out.
Yeah, keep going, Greg.
You heard him say, I kept going, Greg.
Yeah, I think he was wanting Greg to tell him whether to run a second lap or not.
Austin Dillon did not have a lot of speed in practice earlier. Let's see if he can do better in this first round of qualifying. Wants to be comfortably in the top 24.
I think this is going to make him comfortable. Yeah,
Not bad. 7th, 22:84 for Austin Dillon.
That should be okay.
Again, we're still going off of Kyle Larson because 24 drivers haven't gone yet, with under 4.5 minutes to go in this first round.
Kurt Busch the third.
Keselowski is 7th quickest. A.J. Allmendinger 13th quickest.
And I think right around that 23 flat, which is, let's say, Maine, Allmendinger, Reagan, Ty Dillon, that's the area that I think the cut line is going to become established, which I think McMurray's okay, Jeff, but I think he's going to be a little closer than he wants to be.
Was it a mistake for Austin Dillon to run a second lap? Because he just did. Austin Dillon was 10th fastest and went out for a second lap. Does that take a little bit of the good off the tires?
Yeah, because the second lap wasn't faster. It was almost 0.2 of a second slower, so he definitely didn't improve his position on the board. It was really an unnecessary lap.
There's Stenhouse Jr. Let's see what he can do. He's racing Newman and Austin Dillon, really are the two that I think he's racing the most. Obviously McMurray as well, but let's see where he can end up.
Joey Logano wins 11th quickest. Stenhouse Jr., 8th quickest for that lap. Good lap for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He'll get into the second round.
So now we're going to compare it to 24th, and it seems like these guys have a ton of speed compared to 24th. But I'm going to tell you, as they run, that's going to move and move very quickly. Now it's Landon Castle at a 23.60. I think you got to see maybe 2 or 3 more cars run. We're going to get down to Ty Dillon, David Reagan around that cut line.
Casey Kane, Kyle Busch still have to record laps. We see Kyle Busch on his lap. The last 2 races, the first 2 of the playoffs, Kyle Busch has won the pole. Can he make it 3 in a row? First step has to be to get out of round 1 and into round 2. And he'll easily do it. 22.55 for Kyle Busch. He is fastest.
And now that cut line, I think, is very accurately established. Ty Dillon at a 23 flat. That's a big step from Cole Wade, who ran right behind him. But as you see 3 cars tracking in the green, Jamie McMurray at 20th has got to be getting nervous, Jeff.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to most likely be cooling that thing down again, but 2.5 minutes left. Will they have time to go back out?
Danica Patrick, 17th quickest, so moves McMurray down. As does Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher faster than McMurray now. McMurray closing in on that cut line. What will Daniel Suarez have? He's right now tracking in the green. Suarez, 13th quickest. Now McMurray on the cut line.
So McMurray is that driver we talked about. He's 9 points to the good, Rick, but he doesn't want to be eliminated. He doesn't want to roll off at one of the narrowest tracks on the straightaways that we see. When there's accident, Jeff, it collects tons of cars. You don't want to start this race outside the top 24.
No, and you also starting outside the top 24. You limit your opportunity to get in the top 10 before the end of stage 1. And now you potentially are giving up points. Even if you don't get in a wreck, you're giving up points to people that qualify better.
Matthew Benedetto, Eric Almirola, Reed Sorensen, Michael McDowell. 4 cars still have to record time. Will they be faster than Jamie McMurray? Right now, Almirola tracking easily ahead of McMurray if he can keep it up. This will knock McMurray out of the top 24. Almirola goes 13th, McMurray now 25th.
Now with closing into a minute, the one of Jamie McMurray is going to have to get out of his pit stall. You see right here, a little bit of hurry. Get the computer out of the car. Jamie needs to get rolling.
And now you're not going to have the luxury of sitting down at the end of pit road waiting for that perfect opening. You're just going to have to go, Kelly.
Obviously in hurry-up mode now for that one car. I can tell you on his first qualifying run, Jamie just said he was tight on throttle, never got loose. We'll see what adjustments they've made if they help.
He might not get around to the start-finish line.
I don't think he's going to make it. This lap takes 22.5 seconds to get around here. It's going to be close.
He better be in the gas. His spotter better be telling him that this is the opening. We're going to have to hustle.
He's going to make it. He's going to make it.
Good on your time.
So you heard it. Good on your time.
Yeah, so they feel he has enough time, but now there's no second chance, no second lap. I agree with you, Jeff. 18 seconds would be fine. So once he takes the green flag, this lap will count.
How about the pressure here? He has to put a good lap down right now.
Well, I think this is where his experience of old school qualifying, real loose in the corner right there, but where you used to only get 1 lap, that's what you have to rely on and lean on.
He was in the red. He's still in the red. He's trying to fight back into the green. Through 3 and 4. Can he get inside the top 24? In the red, does he get there? McMurray does not improve enough to get into the top 24.
That has made the rest of the weekend much, much more stressful than this one car was looking for.
You know, the adverse of that, Austin Dillon and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., they stepped up and found a way to qualify better than they were in practice.
Kyle Busch was fastest in round 1. Jamie McMurray will not advance.